Alright guys, got the panels out. I'm about to do some brake cleaner and my scraper. About to remove all this gunk off both doors. I got the driver fender, passenger fender. Let's get it. You want to go ahead and get as much of this stuff off now before you do any sanding. I mean, I'm not a bodywork guy, you know what I mean? I'm the one who's out here who forgets to put powder on their skin and go ahead and do shit without any covering and then have to spend 3 days feeling that needles are in their skin. So always protect yourselves. But from my experience, you don't want any of this stuff. This stuff will ruin your sanding pads very quickly. And I don't have an air compressor one. I have an electric one. So we have limitations where that's concerned. So it's good to get some of this stuff out because we're not gonna use any of this anyways.
Everything is brand new. I just sit and wonder why I can't believe that I'm your guy. Just say my name and I'll come through. Oh, grace, oh, grace. Every time you come around, I feel okay. You help me see color in the world of gray. Girl, you make me feel some type of way. That we can solve with you and me. There ain't no other place I'd rather be that I can see. I love the way you move. There's nothing that you have to prove. Just say my name and I'll come through. Oh, grace, oh, grace. Every time you come around, I feel okay. You help me see color in the world of gray. Some type of way. Oh, grace, oh, grace. You make me feel some type of way. Oh, grace, oh, grace.
Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, just doing some sanding to this baby girl right here. I'm not recording anything because there's really not much to record or see. It's just literally sanding, dealing with dust, and that's it. There's really nothing. But let me update you guys real quick. As you guys can see, I have all my fenders sanded down. all my panels I should say, my bad. My both fenders, both doors. This is the sunroof, well the cabin roof or whatever, because it's not really glass, but whatever you call that thing, moonroof, and our hood. I just found out that they have a compound that you spray underneath your hood for like hard to sand areas that will it eliminates the use for sanding. So I probably should have did that first, but I still sanded it. And so far now we're just at this half of the car. From this half, I finished the roof now. Well, not finished, but I started it. This side is done, but that side I need to finish, and then down here and then down there we need to finish. But for the most part, everything's sanded up. Just need to finish the other side now. For these things right here, oh, these are all the panels and stuff, like literally every single thing. These are the lights, the light housings, but every single thing. Let me move these real quick. This is all the little panels and stuff, the headlights, the rear view mirrors, the little cowl, gas cap, everything under here is ready to be painted. I'm just covering them up to protect them from the extra dust. Okay, and then these are my undercarriage. This is my heat shield for my muffler, another heat shield back here, a piece of it, and then this is for like the engine bay undercarriage. It's not aluminum, as you can see, it has rust on it. I was gonna sand that rust down, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna treat it and then spray it with undercoating. And then I'm gonna come back to these areas and then knock it down with some 60 or some 80. That's what I just use what I have, and the 60 or 80 seems to do a good job at knocking off the rust pretty nicely. So yep, not filming much, guys. There's really not much to film because, you know, it's sanding. It's the boring part. It's still fun and rewarding, but it's still boring to me because I'm not a fan of body work. Even though I've had bad experiences, that's not what made me another fan. I don't have the right equipment, and equipment is expensive. I've already invested so much in, you know. But anyways, body work is not my forte. I'm more of the mechanical guy, but I'm getting it done. I have this last piece to clean. Literally every panel that can come off this vehicle has come off of it and is clean. The only thing that needs to come off now is the suspension parts. I'm gonna put a Ford 8.8 and I'm gonna upgrade this, buy new OEM parts. Mazda doesn't make any of these, you know, control arms or anything like that. I don't make them anymore, but Mazda Tricks has OEM spec replacements, which I'm gonna buy. So that's the only thing left to take off the vehicle. And the steering column, still need to see about adjusting that. Not taking out the windows, just gonna re-silicone around them. So yeah, I need to jack the front up now so we can take that off and then sanding, because I'm not gonna come back in here and sand this engine bay twice. I'm gonna do this one time, and I want to get it all good. So we need to remove this front sway bar right here. I don't know what you will call this. It's engine support cross member right here, and then the steering linkage. So that's about it, guys. We are making some serious progress. This is a RX7 video, but I should put the B14 in there. She's looking a little sad. Yeah, ever since I took the motor out. But it's just a simple piston rings, but I'm just getting this up to speed, you know? Just getting this up to speed. Because this can go back on the road literally as soon as I buy the piston rings and put them back in. Literally. She can go back on the road. But I want to get this up to speed, you know? Because I already have all the parts right now. Then we can start tearing apart the motor. Well, anyways, enough talking. Let me finish this up, because it's getting hot in here. As you can see, I gotta stay suited up, because we don't need any needles sticking us. You guys know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't know, it literally feels like needles. If you get this primer and stuff in your skin, it literally feels like somebody's poking you with needles when you're trying to lie down in bed. I had to go through that for like 2 days, and I was scrubbing my skin so hard. It just doesn't come out, it's stuck in your pores. So powder up if you have powder, As a matter of fact, don't use powder. We already know why we shouldn't use powder. Let's not even mention any of that. But don't use the powder. Just cover up in long sleeve and you'll be fine. And I'm using 320 grit for the body. My paint is in bad condition, but it's not that bad where I have to go down to bare metal just in these areas. But for the most part, 320 makes it smooth and nice. And according to the forums and the paint forums, 320 is enough for the primer to key. My boss at the mechanic shop I work at said I don't have to primer it, but I actually want to primer it so I can level out any of my problems. I'm going to be painting this, and primer is forgiving, the sand of the primer. So wherever I might have went too high or too low, the primer will help me fix that. So yeah, I'm about to get back to that stuff, guys. Oh yeah, an update. I'll be able to use this thing now. Finally got the little fitting for it, so I just need to turn it on for 30 minutes. Like the manual says, that it get its break-in run, and then we can be able to use it to blow out dust, but we won't need it until the end. So let's get back. Got a quick update on what's been going on. So the RX7 has been coming along. I've literally every part that can be taken off of her, I think, for the most part, except for the diff and the front suspension parts and steering parts. Everything else is off the car. Oh, and the brake line and fuel line. So besides the brake lines, the fuel lines, the front suspension, the steering suspension, the steering components, the sway bar, front sway bar. I don't think I have a race sway bar. No, I don't. And I have my rear end in there, but everything else is off the car, and the steering wheel and handbrake. Everything is off. All the stuff that needed to be sanded and primered and got rid of rust is under the sheet, and this is what I have left to spray and get rid of today. Also, I'm not going back in the trash because the fuel smells terrible. As you guys can see, I have the fuel tank out. The fuel smells terrible, but I threw away these yesterday. Let's see if we can get a look at it without me taking them out. But yeah, the fuel on the RX7, you know, on most cars the fuel pump, and you know, it's in this area, but it's on the RX7, it's right up underneath here. I don't want to put it back there again, but yeah, it's pretty far down in there. But I'm not gonna put any of that stuff back on the car. We're gonna put aftermarket fuel pump and fuel filter on there. But today's project is to drain this, because in my opinion, I think this is my first restoration project, and I watched a couple shows. I've watched a lot of Gas Monkey, pretty much all their episodes, but Gas Monkey's not enough. But by the looks of this, this looks in very good condition. There wasn't any water in it, there was gasoline in it, so that it didn't rust. That's a good thing. So this gooseneck is in bad condition, so this filler neck I should say, I'm about to get rid of it, get a new one. I can just get a universal one. I tried to look for an 84 specific model to find this one, but all I seen was the FC RX7s, which probably could work, but you can just get an aftermarket one, and just, if we need to drill holes and re-thread it, because I can do all that stuff. I have all the stuff to replace holes and stuff. So yeah, what I want to do now is just drain it into this right here, this water bottle I got from Home Depot. And then, yeah, I did use the water. I didn't waste the precious spring water. I want to just put this gas in there because I don't want this gas to spill, and I want to get rid of it because I need to go get an extra jack stand, but yeah, Babe's at work with the truck, so I want to just take this jack stand off and put it over here so I can afford jack stands on this, because I want to start It's taking apart, you know, in order to start sanding the engine bay, I want to remove these bolts, you know, because I want to get underneath them and stuff. And I also want to remove the wheels, take suspension off and all that stuff, so we can get to scrubbing this wheel well and underneath the car, because I want to start doing this. You know, putting on some professional rubberized. Is it focusing? Damn, it's having a hard time focusing. It's dazzling my eyes. Anyways, this is some 3M professional grade rubberized undercoating. That's the one I'm gonna put underneath there. So we still have some prep to do. I did power wash underneath here, but all that white stuff you're looking at is still buildup. Like I was using this yesterday to like just, you know, rub around it, and all that white stuff can come off. So even though I had put some proper power and some totally awesome under there and power washed it, you know, that electric thing, it did do some, trust me. Like this car looked brand new compared to how it looked before. It looks really good, but it can only do so much, because even sometimes the water pressure coming from the pipe, it's like the pump sounds like it's cavitating, like it won't keep up. Like I can't even, for instance, I'm not even able to use all the fittings. Like I think the fitting that comes out like 0 degrees or something, whichever one comes out like a straight shot, since that one is like literally, there's not a lot of pressure built up on the inside for that one. It's not restricted, it's just straight flowing. The machine can't even handle it. I don't even know, but it does something. It gets a little work done. This right here, so yeah, I've been doing a lot of talking. So literally now, these are the only 2 things left to get cleaned up for the RX7, and then it's literally just painting, primering, spraying with protective coats and stuff, and then putting them back in place. Okay guys, so no power washing, scrap that, fuck that. This tank is shot. I don't know if you guys can really see that. Yeah, you guys see that? That's all rust. And it follows the line around the body where the gas was. So even if gas is in there, that won't even stop it from rusting. I thought that would have stopped the corrosion, but it didn't stop it. Or maybe some water did get in there, but you guys can see that it's really bad in there. So no saving this. No saving this. All I've been doing today is just removing everything that's underneath the vehicle. Like I have, what's going on here? I have 4 sets of lines. Well, I started bending this one. But yeah, we have 1 line right here, 2, 3, 4. And those are 2 sets of brake lines and 2 sets of gas lines for return and feed. And then over here we have this sway link. Talking about sway link, this sway bar. This is the sway bar right here. The sway bar and the brackets to hold it up, and then whatever you call this little thing underneath there, like they both work together. Learning about the RX7 as I tear it apart. I was thinking I was gonna have to buy a new sway bar, but this looks just like the sway bar they have on Mazda Link. So I'm just gonna clean that up. I also want to build a powder coating machine, so maybe it would be good to powder coat some of the metal pieces that I have that I want to put on this car and any other car that I have, because I actually want a powder coating machine, because it can be a good side hustle, you know what I mean? There's lots of car people who think they're in their cars, you know, they just want to go buy a fucking can of paint from AutoZone and spray it on their calipers without even masking anything off. Trust me, I've seen it. I don't know where these people go and thinking they're looking cool by just doing that. Bro, you don't look cool. At least if you're gonna spray paint it, at least, you know, block off where you don't want the paint to go. Don't just let friction remove the unwanted paint. Ugh, it makes me upset. And people say, you know, it's because they don't know any better. No, these people know better, but just want the shortcuts. Anyways, so sway link bar. Sway link and this bar right here with the brackets. We got our brake lines and fuel lines, and then is this the front subframe, I guess? I don't know what you would call this, but this is where the motor mounts to. The little 13B would sit right between these little brackets right here. And the fuel cap. I already showed you guys that. Well, not fuel cap, but fuel guard fuel filter guard. So yeah, this is all the stuff I took out, and as you guys can see, control arm on the ground, steering stuff all move out of the place, move my steering box a little. This won't be able to move too far because you know it's trapped right there, but at least I'll be able to sand back here. The whole aim is to be able to sand up everything and rough it up so we can put the protective coating over it, because like I said guys, we're not trying to do nobody. After we done with this, we're doing it right the one time and getting it out of the way. I'm not about to come back and do this stuff. So I'm hearing my mom's voice in my head the whole time, because as a kid, your mom tell you to do a chore, your dad tell you to do something, you just go sweep up the place or something, but you don't do it right. But my mom would always make me go back and do it until I did it the right time, and that would really annoy me. So I realized that, hey, you know what, she is right. Just do it right the one goddamn time, so you don't have to come back and keep doing it, because she is gonna make you come back and do it. So yeah, that's how I'm saying in my head. A lot of times I'm like, should I just forget this? But it needs to be done. Underneath, the car is in pretty good condition. Let me get us hook up on the light. This is what makes me think I'm overdoing it. I don't really want to go back underneath the car because I already took a shower. But for your sake. Okay, so look at that, guys. Look at that. Isn't that immaculate? For a car that's from 84. Look at the underneath of that. All that white stuff is literally just dirt. That part where you can see paint, this area right here, that's literally where the gas tank used to be. So look how immaculate the paint still is. All this other buildup and shit is just all dirt and stuff. It just get power washed off. But I couldn't, my driveway is on a slight hill, and hills and jack stands don't go together. So that's why it was only on the wheels when I was able to power wash the outside. But you can see the difference it made. Like, look at the diff. You can see that the top half of the diff is dirty, but the bottom half where I was able to get with the degreaser and the power washer, I really cleaned it up as good as I could. Oh, look, like I have a sway bar back here too. I need to see if this is the sway bar they still use, or I need to buy the new one, because if not, I just need to get some bushings, and this will save me some money. Because I was looking at sway bars and Mazda tricks, because I want to be able, people can feel body roll and stuff when they're when I look up the forum, so I want to be able to curb my stuff right now, curb body roll and stuff, because I want to be able to enjoy this car. This is not some show car. This is literally going to be driven and pressed on and stepped into. So yeah, I was just showing you guys, like, it looks good underneath there. So I just went ahead and removed all this stuff so we can get to every part of this frame. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys a quick update, man. I'm gonna throw this stuff away now. I just wanted to show you. I just kept it out. All of that stuff is just gonna be, I'm gonna clean them up, because they don't make, like, if we're gonna look up that bracket somewhere to find that bracket, we're not gonna find it. Neither we're gonna find this anywhere. So this is all need all to be cleaned up and refurbished by yours truly, of course. We're gonna sand it down, get them ready for primer and paint, get rid of the rust, just like those other parts in there. Let's start sanding. Okay guys, I'm all done. I'm tired, more tired now, but I'm done. Some of these areas, I thought it was gonna take way more. I could have knocked this out some other day than today. But most of the areas I thought I was gonna have to run into hard areas to sand, I can't even sand them. Unless I was gonna be meticulous with all different fittings, but that's if you have like the air gun and you wanna be all fancy. But for the most part, we really only have surface rust like that right there. But for the most part, I'm gonna, wherever I can't reach, like you see that right here, I was able, as you guys see, I was able to knock this down right here. But for this stuff right here, I'm gonna spray some rust reformer primer over it, sand, and then paint. But yeah guys, I'm gonna call it a night now. I spent exactly what's that? Spent 56 minutes in here, of course. So yeah, I'm about to get out of here now, go take a shower and go eat some dinner and relax. Peace.